growing apart and losing touch is human and healthy.
Yeah.
And that's the title
Yeah.
of the article.
Which I would agree with the title alone. The rest of the article was a man crying about having too many friends on a social network.
I think crying is a bit strong.
I can't grow and prosper because I'm friends with my first grade best friend and my professor from intro to sociology in college and my work buddy. It's like the person like is complaining about not being able to or saying that like Zuckerberg made this sphere where you have to stay in touch with everyone you've ever known, and you have to be the same person around everyone. It's how about you just be yourself, and if people don't like it, you unfriend them and you grow apart that way. Boom, bye. You know? It's not like you have to like, pretend to fit into this mold. Just be yourself, you know? It's like if you don't want to be friends with somebody, or if you don't want to like, you know, share something that's too personal, then maybe don't share it. One, or two, maybe don't be friends with that person. And three, Facebook has this handy feature where you can select, like, make your own groups. Like, these are my best friends. Like, this is group one. Here's my family, group two, and you can choose who sees what. So, oversharing, that doesn't exist now. If this article came out like 10 years ago, maybe, but this came out in January. So I don't buy it.
Well, so the so I think what the guy says about modulating. You said it yourself too. Like if you think there's some you don't share it. But that's the thing. Some things you want to share, and it's like, oh, this person from the church I used to go to is on there, or this person from primary school is I'm still friends with this person, and you might rethink, I don't know if I don't know if I want to like spark a debate about X or Y. So I think at least for me, I'll think about whether or not I feel strongly enough about something to get into a debate with someone about it if they disagree. I hadn't really used posted much stuff on Facebook because I felt like it took some time, years to really try to. I feel like there'd be a time where you just get into arguments with people about stuff.
Yeah.
It would be like things you wouldn't necessarily bring up with that person directly in person because you know, or you feel like they might necessarily. It's like the Thanksgiving dinner and you're talking about politics and you know you have like people on different parties at the Thanksgiving dinner
Yeah.
and you're saying X about let's say Trump and it's like okay you're in everyone in at the table at the Facebook Thanksgiving dinner party table
Mm-hmm.
is auto invited to it and I was thinking about what you said I was thinking about this the part of it with the groups thing before and functionally it's the fact of it is that it's too much work. It's not the UI of it. It isn't easy enough to access
Yeah.
that, and especially like I have maybe under 300 friends on Facebook. A lot of people I know got like close to 1,000 around there. So, are you really gonna scroll through all that to pick
Yeah.
out the
No,
people that you don't want to see something or people you want to see something?
that's true.
Like,
But
do you have a best friend circle that you
no,
actively use?
because if I don't want to, if I'm afraid that first of all, one, I'm not afraid that anyone I'm friends with is going to be offended or like,
Yeah, but
you
it's
know,
like it's not even that.
I
It's
don't
just like
post anything too
every
personal. Like, I'm still from the generation that grew up without cell phones and without like everyone having a computer. So there are certain things that I
yeah, but
know
you're
that
on
I
the
don't want to
computer.
share.
You're on the computer with Facebook. That's the point of the article.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's like you have to commit to sharing by being on Facebook.
I don't need to share everything.
You need to
I
share.
can be selective about what I am sharing, which
That's
is
the
how I
thing.
am.
That's what the guy
And
is
this
saying.
person is saying
You have
that,
to be selective about what you share.
well, I mean, they're personal things that I'm not going to share, like, broadcast to the world. Like, even without, if I were standing in a room with everyone I'm friends with on Facebook, there's a lot of things I wouldn't say. There's things I might I might have a hard time broadcasting to 10 of those 300 something people.
You co-opted my 300 people?
Huh?
You co-opted my 300 people?
I don't know how many people I'm friends with on Facebook. It's a couple hundred.
Yeah.
And some of them are childhood best friends, people I went to college with, a couple of coworkers. They're all in there, all in the pot.
I think you're still making his point in a roundabout way, where it's like you're thinking about, okay, some people, it's too many people to really realistically make groups of, right? The practical way to do it would be to, like, from scratch, just be, this person wants to be a friend, and then you basically, invite them to the specific table they're going to be at as they enter the party.
Yeah.
The Thanksgiving Facebook party. And like, as you have, like, if you have, like, more than, let's say, 50 people, it's not really practical to go and re-round them up into groups, because ain't nobody got time for that.
Okay, that's fair. But there was one other part of the article, or one other point the guy made, that was he felt he couldn't grow because of a social networking platform. Like, he couldn't grow and evolve as a human being because he was, what I heard, was too afraid of what all the people he's met on his journey through life were going to think of him. Like, okay, good for you. Then some people should delete Facebook. That's fine. Also, my other point from, my first point was, maybe don't share the things that you're afraid of. Or did you ever think that the 300 whatever people that you're friends with on Facebook are also growing and changing and evolving? They're not the same people that you met 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, Everybody's evolving and changing,
Yeah, but everyone's going through the same editing process, like the same of, like, how am I gonna share this thing? Like, let's say a guy gets a tongue ring, right? Male friends he's got probably gonna, like, call him gay, maybe. Conservative people he's got will be like, what's going on? Family members probably, around the same thing, depending on what type of family you have. But that's something that's a physical appearance thing. Like, if, all right, let's go to tattoos, right? Conservative parents, tattoos, it's something that's you're gonna see. You're like, all right, if you meet them in person and the tattoos cover-upable.
Yeah.
Making that a word right now for the sake of this argument. You could make sure, all right, I'm going to my aunt's or my mom's, I'm going to make sure this is covered up when I go there, so I don't have to get into that conversation. Versus, like, hey, I got a tattoo. It's like, oh man, I can't post it on Facebook because someone will see it who'll tell my mom. Or someone will see it who'll tell my aunt. Someone will see it who'll tell, X number of person are going. So there's elements of it where maybe you don't want to have, you want to share something that you feel good about, but you don't want to share it with everyone you've felt the inclination to have a Facebook friendship with. So it does get tricky. You know what I mean? Especially if you're not 100% open to everyone in your life about what's going on, which people have legitimate reasons to be.
Of course.
Then it does get tricky. So it depends on what's going on. So, this guy who feels like he can't go and express himself. Maybe it's maybe it's a self-expression in the form of something that makes it weird for him to. He didn't say what it was even.
No, he didn't.
So baby on board, you give them the benefit of the doubt.
True.
And it does get tricky. It's like the same thing when we make these videos. They also go on LinkedIn. So I'm also keeping that in the back of my mind at
Yeah.
the same time. But it's just like, okay, the type of people that are going to see this, connecting with the people that we want to see, it gets tricky because it's a lot harder to hold back certain aspects of your personality in the age we live in now.
This is true.
Unless you're totally off the grid, which a lot of people aren't.
But I mean, as technology advances, you're not going to, like, running away from something is not really the answer. I mean,
It's
granted that, there could be some personal things that he's dealing with that he's not ready to share with somebody. That I get.
Okay, look, the thing I don't like about why you're taking this argument is that it feels like you're critiquing the guy himself as opposed to what he's saying in the article.
How can I not critique both, though? Because, I mean, he's writing it, and this is his opinion.
Yeah, but you're making assumptions about what he's doing based on what he wrote.
I'm just saying that if they're, like, certain people, some people may have things they don't want to share, and I can see why that they would be, hesitant to share certain things because of who's in their circle on these platforms.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that because it's constantly evolving and there's very little privacy because everyone's connected, and you could be having a fight with somebody on the street and somebody's going to videotape that and put that on the street without your consent. So I think you should be more just try to be yourself and to live as honestly as you can, because you're going to try to hide something back and somebody else is going to find it. Big Brother is always watching. That's my point.
Okay. I hear you. I acknowledge what you're saying. Just want to point out, I think it could be a bit reductionist to say things like running away from his problems.
I'm not saying him specifically. I'm just saying people in general. Shutting something out and, unless you're going to move to the middle of nowhere, like, there's always going to be a way for somebody to find you. That's my point. I'm not specifically picking him out or just anyone in general. I'm just saying, if you're not committed to going full off the grid,
just stay off of it. That's tricky to do. Is what I'm trying to bring up.
Yeah.
It's tricky to just like, okay, stay 100% off of social media at all. Like, people have complicated lives.
Yeah.
And
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay. It just sounds weird. Because I feel like when you say it, when you're talking, you're like, if you don't want to share, be yourself. If you don't want to be yourself, stay off of the platform. That's the impression you're giving off. I don't know if you realize that.
Well,
I don't know if you realize that, but that's the impression you're giving off.
That is what I believe, but also if you are not committed to sharing something or you don't want a certain part of your life getting out, then just don't share it. Or share it in person with the people that you love and trust,
What if you aren't able to do that for some reason?
I don't know.
All right,
I don't know how to.
This is the other side. All right, this is what I'm bringing out. Like, okay, that is a thing, but in the context and the frame of the article, it's like the more complicated aspects of managing these social situations that are tricky to handle because it's like a storefront and there's no back room. There's no back room for the storefront. Like, your goods are all out. Maybe you try to hide a good behind another good, or you have like a weird shelf, like a hidden secret shelf.
We are just gonna go in circles because I'm gonna say, then don't let certain people in the store that you haven't been customers in your store in a while, or
Good point.
Good
point.
So we're just gonna go in circles, but the basic is, we'll share it and you can decide.
Be yourself as much as you can.
Be yourself always.
As much as you can.
So we'll share it and you'll get to see and decide for yourself what you think.
We'll share what?
The link.
The link to
the
what?
article.
It's a really short article.
It is a really short article. But we'll share it.
You're cute.